Going on, YouTube fam? There you are again. Just got my hair did yesterday. We are back. We are back in Benimoto's kitchen. Today we're doing something that has become a tradition for me and Mama Bear every year for the last, what, 4 years or so? Maybe longer? 2 years? That's it? It's only been 2 years? Alright, it's going to be our tradition from now on. We decided to start making hardtack candy. And we get our hardtack candy from Loran Oils. I'll put the link somewhere in the description. But just to go over how much this all costs, I did a little bit of research because honestly I just buy the stuff, but let's go over it real quick. 4-pound bag of sugar, which you're gonna need, $2. Well, it depends on how many batches you're making. I make a ton of batches, so we're actually gonna make 4 batches right now. But this, what I go over right now, will make 5 batches. So 4 pounds of sugar and a little bit of extra, like another 2 cups worth. That's, let's say 5 pounds of sugar. Okay, that's gonna make you 5 batches of candy. Then powdered sugar. We went a little overkill. Can you see that on there? We went a little overkill. You need the smallest powdered sugar bag you can find. That's gonna last us like 10 years. You literally only put a pinch of powdered sugar on the candy at the very end to keep it from sticking to itself. But we went overkill on that. We didn't know how much we needed, so we went overkill. So the smallest bag of powdered sugar I found is like $1.50. So you got $2 for sugar, $1.50 for powdered sugar. The Kayro is a little expensive. You're gonna need the Kayro. We go 32 ounces. They have a smaller one. They have a 16-ounce bottle, but the 32-ounce bottle is $5. And this will make 6 batches. Water, you're gonna need water, but you can do your city water, you can do bottled water, you can do well water, whatever you want. We just go with the bottled water, that way it's always consistent every single time we use it. There's the sugar, and then the oils. 1 dram of these flavoring oils will do 1 batch. And if you go to Loran, L-O-R-A-N-N, oils on like Amazon, you can get a 5-pack of those for $18. That's the most expensive part. So for about, or not $18, I'm sorry, for $9. You can get 5 of those for about $9. So for $18, roughly $18, you can do 5 batches of candy, which isn't too bad, especially if you're giving them out as gifts. Divide 18 by 5 and there you go. It's a pretty cheap gift, but it's still good and it lasts a long time. So let's get started, Mama Bear. First step is we're gonna put some water in these containers. So you're gonna need water, Kayro, and sugar, and we're gonna mix that all up and heat it up to the right temperature. You want these little trays. I don't even remember what size this is. I think it's like a 8 by 12 or something. I want to say something like that. But these were super cheap. I want to say they're like $2 or something a piece, something like that, $2 or $4 a piece at, I don't know, Walmart or wherever you get them. You're gonna want to spray those with some kind of cooking spray so the candy doesn't stick. That's it, just like a light coating. Keeps the candy from sticking at the very end when you go to crack it and get it off the tray. Even though it's non-stick, this helps a little bit more. I like doing that. All right, first step is we're gonna put some water in here. So you need 3/4 cup water. Three-quarter cup. We're gonna pour that in here. All right, next we're gonna need Kayro. And that, I have a separate measuring cup. This gets a little messy, so I like to get like a little spatula so I can scoop it out of the cup. This is 2/3, so you need 2/3 cup Kayro. I'm doing 1/3 cup twice, so 2/3. I don't know if they make a 2/3 measuring cup. We're gonna fill that baby up. Like that. I'm gonna scrape it out because I want to get it all out of there. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I like to get all. I don't know if you actually need to have every ounce of this stuff out of the cup, but I like to get as much as I can. It's pretty good. We'll do 2 of those. You need 2/3 cup. Okay, so that's good. I always keep a plate handy so that I can put stuff on a plate and it's not dripping all over the counter. All right, next we're gonna need some sugar. 2 cups sugar. We've only been doing this for 2 years, Mom Bear? Mm-hmm. I swear I've been doing it longer than 2 years. Yeah, we have, because last year we did the boxes, but the year before that we did jars. 2 cups sugar. Don't forget how much ingredients you put in, because that will make a difference. 2 cups sugar, 2/3 cup Kayro, 3/4 cup water. Okay, that's the dealio. And we're gonna mix that up. Real stiff at first, but then with that water and everything, it starts to get real runny. Spoon, a whisk, whatever. I like this spoon. It's real rigid. It doesn't want to bend on me when I'm mixing stuff up. You know what I mean, Mom Bear? Something calming about mixing up this stuff. You know? All right, now we're gonna put it on high heat. Okay, as high as it goes. We're gonna put that on high heat until it boils. I like to make sure it's boiling evenly, because there's like the first little stage of boiling, but I want to see the bubbles all over the whole top surface, and then you turn the heat down to medium. Okay? You are also going to want to get yourself a candy thermometer, because you're going to want to know where to stop. This particular one happens to tell me at 300 degrees is where the hard crack is. That's exactly where I want to stop cooking this stuff. But we'll talk about that when we get there. So we're going to stick that in. So that's going. The heat is going. I'll wait for that to start boiling. Alright, so look in here. Some people might call that boiling. A simmer? That's a simmer, I've been informed by my associate here. Some people would call that a boil. I do not. So we're going to get this to a roaring boil. And you'll know when you boiled it too long, because you'll get a lot of steam come out of there. And it'll... Alright, now that is what I call a boil. So the whole surface is evenly boiling. You don't have like those weird hot spots or anything. And then we're going to turn it down to medium. So that was on high. We're going to turn the heat down to medium. And then now this is the long wait. So you can't see the thermometer, but the long wait is going to be waiting until that reaches 300 degrees, which is going to take about, what do you think, 10 minutes or so? About 10 minutes, I think. So, and don't forget, frequently wash your hands. I wash my hands in between every batch of candy. You're going to get stuff on your hands like Kayro or, you know, the flavoring oils or whatever you're doing. So it's pretty smart to wash your hands. Plus, you know, during these crappy times we're living in, Mom Bear, it's important to keep your hands clean. Especially if you're making stuff for someone else. You know, no spitting in the candy or, you know, we got to stop that. And wash your hands. So I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to wait for this to get up to 300 degrees and we'll get back to you. Alright, so I want to point out that it's really helpful if you have a partner for this next step, because when you go to pour the candy onto the tray, you're going to want someone to help, like, get the spatula and get as much out as you can get out. It helps, you know, get more candy for one thing, and the cleanup's easier. You don't have as much stuff stuck to the container. We're almost there. I don't know if you can see that. We want to get to 300 degrees. So yeah, you can see it there. We're almost at 300 degrees. That's right where we want to stop the heat. Put the food coloring in if you want to add food coloring, and put the flavoring oil in, and you only have a few seconds to do all that. I started another batch of candy, but I warn you, do not do 2 batches of candy at the exact same time, because you won't have enough time to pour them both at the end. So I always wait till this one hits about 250 degrees, and then I start the next batch of candy. That way I have time to pour this one, swap the thermometer, get this batch cleaned up, and then come back, and then this one's close to being ready to be poured. So this one's almost ready. It's like really close. So I'm going to have her put the camera down, and then she's going to help me get this poured out onto these trays. And like I said, you only have about a few minutes to do it. Now, some of these flavoring oils are colored, and they will color the candy, but some, like the cinnamon oil, is clear. So you want to add like red food coloring if you want to. You don't have to, but then, you know, it gives it the red look like cinnamon. So Tutti Frutti is what we're going to do now, and it's red. But Mrs. Moto here is going to add a little bit more red food coloring to make it pop a little bit more. Okay, you ready? And we're just going to mix it in as fast as we can. Where are you going, that side? Okay, so it's ready, so we're going to turn the heat off. I'm going to swap my thermometer to the other batch that I'm doing. Add the food coloring, add the flavoring oil, and we're going to mix it real fast. It's going to bubble, it's going to steam, right? And you want to make sure you get that mixed as quickly as you can, as best you can, and then we're going to immediately pour it onto these trays. If you leave it on the heat too long, it's going to start burning. It starts burning real fast. And then your helper, I'm going to pour this out kind of all over the tray, and then she's going to use a spatula and get as much out as we can. It'll help fill the tray out, and it'll help clean up easier because you get more stuff out. These trays are perfect. I'll put a link in the description on what size trays these are. Because I don't remember exactly what size it is. I'll put it in the description though. Pot holders, you're going to need something because this tray is already too hot to handle. And if you look, so I got the tray, there's like a little corner there that's not filled. You want to go real slow, get that filled in, and you want to go back. This stuff hardens pretty quick, starts cooling down quick, so you want to keep it level. So we're going to put it in the refrigerator first. You want to find a level spot in your fridge or freezer. Freezer's better, but I'm going to start this out in the fridge. I put it right in the middle because sometimes those racks are bowed. So I put it right in the middle. That'll keep that level until it's hard enough. And then I'm going to, when the other batch of candy's ready, I'm going to put it in the fridge and swap this and put it in the freezer here, the chest freezer. And that way, and you always want to have a level spot in your freezer. So I got a spot here. I put a pot holder down so it's not going to melt anything in there. And then I'll put it in there, and then from there it'll be ready to crack after that. So we will get back to you when we pull it out of the freezer and we go to break it. All right. Get your hands washed. You want to wash your hands all the time. All right, now listen. Last batch is on. I got 2 batches in the fridge. I got the batch in the freezer we're going to pull out right now. Now when you pull this out, you want to make sure that the tray is cold. The bottom is cold, not warm, cold. And if you can see that, there's like a dark patch there. That's where it's still kind of like resting on the bottom of the tray. So what I like to do, here, pull this out. You can see that dark spot? You can see that dark area? Now watch, when I twist the tray, just twist it a little bit. I'm doing it a little bit. You see how that's disappearing? Whoop. Candy popped right off the bottom of the tray. So now I know it's ready to be cracked. If it doesn't pop off the bottom of the tray, then keep it in the freezer a little longer. Okay? Now for this part, I am going to put on some gloves because I will be touching the candy and this is going to be going into other people's mouths. So that's pretty gross. You want to make sure that wash your hands real good or wear some gloves. I did both, doing both. Just washed my hands with lava water out of our faucet. Okay, so now I'm going to grab a piece of wax paper. I had a piece of wax paper. I use wax paper to break it because it doesn't stick to the wax paper. And if it does, it pops right back off. Grab a utensil that has a flat end on it. You don't want to use a point because what I found is it'll break the wax paper and it'll smash that wax paper into your candy and it's pretty gross. So all we're going to do is just going to go around and hit it fairly hard. All over. You want to get all the big pieces broke up. That's it. Peel that off. See, I still got a few little pieces stuck on there, but that's alright. See how it's all broke up? Now these trays are perfect because if you get yourself like a gallon bag, these trays fit right inside that bag. And that's going to make it real easy to put the powdered sugar on top. So I just kind of tap the bottom of the tray, let that candy fall off. Usually it does right away, it's being stubborn. There we go. Got all the candy in there. Now, the powdered sugar, I'm telling you, you only need a little bit. I don't know the exact measurement, but I have this just a little measuring cup and I don't even fill it. I do like half full of this, 2 tablespoons, so like a tablespoon. Dump that in there. I'm not even gonna zip it, just gonna roll it. And then we're just gonna shake it up. Powdered sugar keeps the candy from sticking to itself while it's in the box or wherever you're putting it. Plus it's also delicious. And then I'm going to throw it into a, what would you call this, a colander or a drainer, a strainer, a spaghetti noodle dewaterer, whatever you want to call it. Put it in there. Shake it up. Get that, see how the little pieces will fall through and the powdered sugar, the extra powdered sugar will fall through. And the reason for the gloves is nobody wants to shove something that big into their mouth, so we're going to break up some of these bigger pieces. Look at that. I've had complaints before from people eating their candy that all these pieces are way too big. So I'll break some of these up. Oh gosh. Don't put those back in there. Alright. And we found, Mrs. Moto and I found, on Amazon, we found these really sweet candy boxes. On Amazon, you can get like, what is it, 12 or is it 24 in a 24 in a pack? And you make them yourself. They come in a pack like this, nice and flat, and you fold them up, and it just so happens that one batch of candy fills one of these boxes like perfectly. So we throw some wax paper in there. Are you kidding me? Look at that. Perfect little present. Fold the wax paper up. These knockouts out of here. Look at that. And there you go. Flavor, write the flavor on there, write who it's to on there, and you have yourself a sweet little Christmas present. How about that? You know, some of you guys watch YouTubers, and I'm sure you wonder, you know, I wonder what this guy does at home in his spare time. Well, now you know. Benimoto makes hard candy. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's it. If I don't see you, Merry Christmas, and catch you in the next one.